take a step back. I had to pause, reflect, pivot in order for me to um, regain my focus back, regain my motivation. So these steps work. And I know that you are not a quitter, and I know that you can do this, which is why I am wanting to share these strategies directly with you. But before we get started, I do want to mention that I did create a guide just for you in which I'm sharing my insights on the 7 traits of an entrepreneurial mindset. I did include the link in the description, so when you have a moment, please be sure to check it out. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. Number one, change your view. Change your view. So the best way that I can put it is to keep it positive. So when I say change your view, number one, remember your why. Remember why you wanted to set your goals to start your own business or to return back to school or make that career move. Remember the reason that you're wanting to make yourself better. Is it because you want the opportunity to be your own boss? You're not wanting to have someone else to tell you what to do on a day to day basis. You're wanting to be able to travel whenever you want to travel with your family, with your friends. You want to have time to do the things that you love and enjoy doing. Or you want to just have more time with your family versus you having to go to work 9 to 5 or stay in the same position that you're currently in or looking for that career move. So remember your why, that main reason on why you're wanting to make that shift within your life for the better. And another thing that falls under the change your view is change your surroundings. You'll be surprised how the area that you work motivates you. So if you're working in a dark, gloomy room, and that alone cannot give you that type of vibrant feeling, that energy, that happiness. So you may want to get in a brighter setting. You may want to put plants in your office. And I say put plants in your office is because that's what I'm thinking that I need in my office. Like my walls are white. I have a window in my room, but I feel like something is still missing. So I'm wanting to put plants in my office. Um, Get outside of your normal work environment. Get out from behind the desk. If you have the option to be able to go outside and work, or just get outside for a break, for your lunch break, to clear your mind, breathe in some fresh air, enjoy nature. Go and people watch. Go to the park and people watch. You will be surprised at the amount of inspiration that you can get from watching others as well as enjoying nature. Visit a museum or a visit a museum or even an art museum. Maybe consider going to the library for a while to do some work or to brainstorm. Go to a coffee house. You can even go to a hotel. That was the last one. I'm like, which one am I missing? Go to a hotel, like book a hotel for a few hours or overnight to create your content. That idea actually came from one of my mentors by the name of Michelle Thames, and she's a marketing strategist that I um, have as a mentor. And she mentioned that idea because she was actually showing us a video of her checking into a hotel for her day of content creating. So she got outside of her home, outside of her normal work environment to go to a different atmosphere. So, in regards to changing your view, remember your why on why it is that you are wanting to achieve that particular goal for the betterment for yourself and for your family. and to also change your environment, change your surroundings. So that was number one. So now we're going to move on to number two. Change your attitude. Change your attitude. Get that attitude to positivity, no negativity. When that negativity creeps in, immediately flip it to a positive. So keep your attitude positive. So you have your goal. So you're in a starting point and you have this goal that you're wanting to meet. So look at your goal and determine, I'm here. What is it going to take for me to reach my goal? So let's just use, for an example, you wanting to start your own business. So you're wanting to start your own business. What is it going to take for you to officially start your business? Not necessarily already selling the product or the service, but what is it going to take for you to start your business? So, one, you would need to like pick your business name. What type of business are you going to have? Are you going to have a partnership? Do you need a business license? Do you need a sales tax license? Those are small steps that are gradually getting you closer to your end goal, which is to start your own business. Let's use you wanting to go back to school as another example. You want to become a nurse. Okay, so you're at the starting point. What is it going to take for you to start nursing school? So, okay, I want to go to nursing school. What school do you want to go to? There may be different types of schools. You can go directly into a nursing school, or you may go to a technical community college. So, that's a decision you want to make. What type of nurse do you want to be? And what type of courses will you need to start you on your path to reaching your goal to become a nurse? Again, those are small steps that are gradually getting you to your end result, which is to become a nurse. And think about setting your goals in, I want to say small sections or like in increments, whether you want to set a goal for a week, you want to set a goal for a month, for 3 to 6 months, for a year. You determine how long you want to plan that goal out for. It may be something that you can accomplish in a day. So look at what that goal is that you're wanting to set for yourself, that small goal that is going to help you to eventually get to that end big goal that you're wanting to go to. As the examples that I used previously, either you're wanting to start your own business or you're wanting to return to school to become a nurse. When you set smaller goals, it's not overwhelming. You're not putting that additional pressure on you to try to accomplish so much in a short amount of time. So I found that if you have your big goal and you chop those up into smaller goals for you to reach that end result of your goal, you will have a much better outcome. So change your attitude, keep it positive, look at your goal, stay focused, and determine what small steps is it that you can begin taking today that's going to get you to your end goal. And each time you meet a goal, one of those smaller goals, mark it off your list, look back and reflect on what you have accomplished thus far. And then you can kind of measure, okay, what is my next step? Accomplish that next step. Once you accomplish that step, check it off, move on to the next step. Achieving your goals in smaller steps will still get you to your end result, which is to accomplish achieving that ultimate goal, becoming your own business owners, going back to school. You can do it. Just put it in smaller steps and work on those steps that's directly in front of you. As you get those accomplished, then you move on to the next. So change your attitude and keep it positive. So now we're going to move on to number three. And I want to add that if you are considering starting your own business and you're not quite sure exactly how to get started, I've included the link to my video playlist of how to start your own business. I've included the link in the comments, so be sure to go back and check that out. So now let's move on to number 3. Change your priorities. Okay, change your priorities. So on your calendar, block out time on your calendar for the task as well as the activities that are important to you. And then you can adjust the rest of your day accordingly. If you need to adjust the time or add something additional to your calendar to that day, or you need to, look at your calendar for a different day. So adjust accordingly. So, ways that you can adjust your time accordingly in regards to changing your priorities is one, you can block out time. So that can be time blocking or what I call day blocking. I've tried time blocking and I want to say it doesn't work for everyone. I personally tried it and it did not work for me. However, I know plenty of other people time blocking works perfect for them. I struggle with it because I know for me when I start working on something, I tend to want to continue to work on it, or I suddenly get into the flow and it's like, oh, okay, I'm in my groove. Let me keep on working with this and then I can have it done. When I find that I'm setting time like 15 minutes or 30 minutes to work on a certain task, and then after that time frame, then I move on to something else, that drives me nuts. So, what has helped me is day blocking. So, I would just take a day and just say, okay, I'm going to work on this particular task or maybe 2 tasks within a day. Now, mind you, I work 9 to 5. So, my business day during the week doesn't actually start until maybe 5, maybe 6, between 5 and 6 o'clock. So for you, look at your specific situation, what your schedule typically looks like, and figure out if time blocking or day blocking will work best for you. And I would say try both. Time blocking may be the perfect thing for you. And if you find that it's not, then consider um, utilizing day blocking and see if you can get your task um, in a day or whatever it is that you want to work on that particular day, I should say. So you may not get everything completed, but you're getting a portion of what needs to be completed within that time frame. So, as I mentioned before, you can set time aside for your priorities and then do what works best for you. So, again, as I mentioned, I tried the time blocking, like working on something for 15 minutes or maybe for an hour. I do want to add that I do have group sessions within the business group that I'm a part of. And my mentor, when we meet, we will have a day that we meet and we will work on whatever that task is. And we will all be on a Zoom call and we will work on that task for an hour. So that has helped me a lot as well to be within a group. And then we're all just focused on working on our particular task. So do what works best for you, but those are a couple of suggestions for you to look into. The other is go out less. Now, when you have a goal and you have something that you're focused on that you want to accomplish, such as starting your own business, going back to school, or making a career move, changing careers, which could require you to um, either be going back to school to take some additional classes, or you're just taking some additional training courses that's related to your change in your career. Now, when I say go out less, there's going to be times when you're going to have to tell your friends and maybe even family, no, you can't go out tonight. No, you don't want to have company, or you just can't because you have things that you're focused on that you need to get done. So that's where your commitment to your goal is going to come into play as well, because you may be used to going out every weekend or attending certain parties and things like that. And that's okay. I mean, you may have times where you're like, okay, I need a break. I need to get out. I need to be around friends or family, whatever the case may be. However, I would suggest that you cut that back some while you're focusing on your goal. So either just cut back on the amount of time that you do go out or have company and so forth, just so you can be focused on your goal. And it is definitely okay to say no. Will they understand? Some may not, but that's really not your problem to really be concerned with. um, but they may likely understand. I mean, even if you not saying that you have to give them an explanation, but those that are close to you that know that you're focusing on certain things, they will understand. So don't be afraid to say no. You don't have to say yes all the time. Um, Also, everything is not a priority. So take some time to really look at your schedule. Think about the task that you're wanting to get completed, as I mentioned earlier, as well as activities, and figure out what's most important. What of those things do you really need to get taken care of? Like, what's the top priority? And then what falls secondary? So, if it's not priority, does it fall secondary? And anything after that, you can figure that out at some other time, or set maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe the time blocking for you to get those other minor things completed. Or if you have the capability, delegate it to someone else to do those things for you that aren't really things that you want to be focused on. So they're not a priority, or they're not secondary, which is like kind of important, not the highest important, but it's secondary, something you need to get done. Anything after that, delegate it, or set some time aside where you have like some downtime to focus on those minor things. So, those are my suggestions for you to change your priorities, focus on the important things at hand, and let everything else fall in place after that. You can take care of those other things that aren't at your top priority or secondary. So now we will move on to number 4. Change your friends. Okay, friends. Change your friends. So, sometimes the people we hang around with are usually the ones that will most be influential. So, if you're feeling that lack of motivation, take a step back and take a look at the people that you are hanging around with. And it doesn't, I know I said friends, but it can be family sometimes. So just take a step back and just evaluate who it is that you're spending the most of your time with. Um, and I say that because one, negativity breeds negativity. So if you're around someone who's negative all the time, or they're just in a bad mood all the time, they don't have anything positive to say, like the majority of what they're talking about or speaking of is negative. And they may have some things positive to say, far few and in between, but the majority of the time it's negative. And if you're trying to speak with someone about some thoughts you may have or goals you may have, and they don't have anything positive to say to you about those things, then one, stop telling them what your goals are. Stop sharing information with them, because they're not giving you the encouragement or the motivation and the support that you're going to need when you begin or while you're pursuing your goal. So again, the examples that we've been using throughout this discussion is whether you're wanting to start your own business, whether you're wanting to return to school to pursue your educational goals, or whether you're just simply wanting to make a career change. And we get excited about those things. And of course, we want to share those things with family, with friends, and just tell them because that's exciting news and you should be excited about it. But the last thing that you want, the last thing that you're needing is to have someone giving you negative feedback, such as why you want to do that, or why you want to start your own business, or why do you want to go back to school? Why do you want to change your career? Like, aren't you happy doing what you're doing? Like, what you want to do that for? Because you want a better life. You want to do things differently. You want to be better. You want to advance. So that's why you want to do those things. Like, so yes, you want to make things better or want things to be better for yourself, for your family. Um, just do better. So why someone would question that is beyond me. But again, if they're negative, that they're going to give you those type of negative feedback. So yeah, so just be mindful of who you're hanging around and who you're telling what to. Because if it's someone that you're hanging around all the time, you know who you can tell certain things to because you know what their responses are going to be or how that person is. So just be mindful of that because everyone is not meant to understand your goals, your vision, your aspirations, your dreams. Like they're just not. God showed the vision to you. He didn't show it to everybody else. So you don't have to convince anyone about why you're wanting to go back to school, change your careers, or start your own business. Just do it, and you will find there are people that will support you. Whether you get into a business group, that can be a co-ed group, men and women, or it can be an all women group. It can be a local group, but you can find that support system. And stop letting others put their insecurities off on you. Because again, going back to what I just said, everyone doesn't have goals. And people have goals, but a lot of times they're afraid to pursue them. So stop letting other people tell you what you can't do or it's too hard or it's going to take you years to do that or months. Okay, but I'm sure whatever the goal is, you've already looked into how long it's going to take you to accomplish it anyway. But the point is don't let someone else talk you out of you pursuing your dreams. So follow your dreams, follow your heart, and just get around and surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So find um again groups of other entrepreneurs that you can associate with, whether it's locally or in another state. There are groups that are available online, but just yeah, don't let no one put negative thoughts because it's hard enough when our own negative thoughts creep in on us. So we don't need anyone else throwing their negative thoughts on top of what we're already feeling ourselves. So um find like-minded individuals, find a support system, and you want to be around people who's going to bring the best out of you when you are feeling down, when you do have those negative thoughts, when you're self-sabotaging yourself. You want to be able to call on people that's going to speak life back into you, that's going to let you know that you are doing the right thing. So just keep that in mind and just know that you are doing the right things in regards to, having dreams and having goals and wanting to pursue those things in order to make a better life for yourself. So that was number 4. So we're going to have some Q&A, and then I am going to some Q&A. That's what we're going to do. Q&A coming up next. Q&A. Okay, Q&A. How can I effectively balance pursuing my entrepreneurial goals with my other responsibilities and commitments? Make the time. Make the time. We can make time for the things that we want to do. So, if it's something that you're passionate about, that you know you need to focus on, then make the time. Set that time aside for you to handle your business when it comes to pertaining pursuing your goals. What strategies can I use to overcome self-doubt and maintain a positive mindset throughout the entrepreneurship journey? I want to say just think positive. We all have those moments of self-doubt. So I'm not going to tell you like you will never have self-doubt. Everything is going to be perfect. Everything is going to go smooth. No, it's not. But just knowing that things can and will come up, things will happen, life will be life and doing what it do. But just be positive and pray. Um, I pray all day, every day, throughout the day, but um that's number one is to pray and just think positive. And when you are thinking of self-doubt, just reassure yourself that you can, that you're capable, and that you can do anything that you put your mind to. How can I handle setbacks and failures in a way that doesn't derail my motivation and progress? View them as lessons. So, failure is not a bad thing. Failure is a positive thing. It's a good thing, because you are going to fail. I don't care if you're just starting out, starting your business, just starting going back to school, starting this career change. Things are going to come up. Things aren't going to go as planned. And just look at it as just being a lesson. And you're going to learn from that lesson. So when something happens or when you have a failure, just take a step back, evaluate and look at it, and just think like, okay, what is this teaching me? What am I going to learn from this? And that's going to help you to grow. So that's a stepping stone towards your goal. It's not taking you back, although we would say setbacks, but it's a setback for a setup for you to come back even stronger, even better. So welcome failures. I'm not saying that you're going to be I'm not telling you to fail intentionally, but when it happens, just know that it's a lesson behind it. What am I learning? What do I need to do differently so this doesn't happen again? So simply view them as a lesson. And the last question is, what are some practical tips for managing stress and avoiding burnout while building a business or pursuing educational goals? Um, I would say to um, take things slow, like at a steady pace, but don't try to take on too much at once. Because I mean, you could be working full time and pursuing entrepreneurship like myself, working full time and going to school, or just in the midst of going through a career change. And those things can be overwhelming, it can be a lot. So I would just say take on a little at a time and not try to do too much at once. Take breaks when you need to take breaks. If you need to pause and just gather yourself. If you feel like, okay, I think I'm doing a little bit too much, then see what is it that you can remove or put off until you handle, that one thing. And that takes me back to setting your goals into small groups or into increments. and not try to take on a lot at once. Um, and do something that relaxes you. Go for a walk, go sit outside, read a book, um, call a friend, call a business partner, or reach out to your support system or someone that supports you during this time. You don't have to do it alone, although a lot of times we feel like we are doing it alone, but there are people that will support you while you're pursuing your goals and your dreams. So making these changes won't be easy. However, it is doable. You can do it. Um, they do require you to change your habits, which can seem challenging, especially when you're used to doing things for a certain amount of time. However, getting your motivation back is critical for you to be successful and to see success as an entrepreneur, as a changing career, whatever your goal is. Just make the time to change the habits that are required in order for you to be successful. So, if you would like to work with me directly, or if you would like to have a one on one with me, I will leave my contact information in the description and you can book a one on one call with me, and that's completely free. And I would also like for you to leave in the comments like what resonated with you of the four topics that we discussed. Which one or ones do you mostly relate to? And I would love to hear the feedback and we can have a conversation. So, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. See ya.